Okay, seducing, being seductive, charming, sexualizing things in order to avoid it. Okay, so if you have a sex addiction, that can be just, that's not what we're talking about here. A sex addiction is like, that can be substituting an addiction, okay? Being seductive is a way of avoiding dealing with the consequences of if somebody's confronting you, like trying to turn on the charm or whatever. And who do you think does it more, men or women? Usually. Women get away with it more. Men try, okay? But again, it goes back to that thing. Women need a reason and men just need the place, right? You know, John Gray said that when it comes to sex, women are crockpots and men are microwaves. Okay. We just go there faster. Okay. So women can tend to use this more. All right. Do they have a men's night out for drinking? Like free drinks for the men? No. They do it for the women because women can use that more because, right, okay. And, you know, women who use this a lot, or men who have, you know, used sexuality as a way of doing that, they freak out when their partners actually say to them, I'm not sleeping with you right now. I love sex with you, but I'm not having sex with you right now until we deal with this first. A lot of times they'll go right into rage. What? Oh, they'll grab another one of their defenses, okay, if that one doesn't work. Okay. Lying, that's just like saying what isn't true. Just, you know, and the later stage addiction you get, the easier it is to lie. You know, the first couple of years of recovery, we lie just to lie. We'll lie before we even know we're lying. It's such a habit, right? And my friend Bernadette, like 3 months into recovery one day, she looked at me, she goes, are you tired right now, Chris? I said, I'm exhausted. And she goes, yeah, it takes a lot of work to be a phony, doesn't it? I was like, bitch, you said what to me? And she says, no, I get it, Chris. I get it. You know, we lie just to lie. But it's a way of, we have to lie to ourselves first to convince ourselves it's okay to go back and drink and use. She says, I know you're not really lying to me. You're lying to yourself first. You know, first time I heard that was when I was in college, I was on the gymnastic team, and I wasn't following my diet, and I was like drinking too much, and I was getting heavier. And they weigh you every day when you're on a gymnastic team. And my coach said, hey, Chris, you're getting fat, so I know you're either eating or drinking too much. I said, no, coach, no, not me. I just think I have a glandular problem, right? And he said, the only glandular problem you have is an overactive salivary gland and an underactive sweat gland at 16 years old. Come on. And he said, you know, but I know you had to lie to yourself first, but just don't lie to me. Okay, so I had lying way back there too, you know. And the more addicted a person gets, and if anybody here beside me grew up in an alcoholic or addicted family, okay, 3 rules in an alcoholic and addicted relationship: you don't trust, you don't feel, and you don't talk about it. In other words, you lie to yourself and everybody else. Okay, so it just kind of goes with the territory. So lying is automatic. It can just be an automatic thing. Reversing, that's just another way of deflecting. That's just putting the question back on that person. I don't trust you. Gosh, you have a real problem trusting people, don't you? I think you need to look at that. What's wrong with you? You know, it's another way of just manipulating people, argument, and putting it back on the other person there. Okay? Arrogance is when you like put yourself above other people. And the only people I know that can really stay arrogant are people with money. That can stay arrogant the longest. Okay? Money is a great enabler. A great enabler. You know, my dad has 7 DUIs in California and still has a license. My dad is wealthy. Okay? He's got serious money. And he's never spent longer than a day in jail. 7 DUIs.
How many?
7. Yeah. Just bought his way out of them, right? Out of every single one of those. He used to carry $100,000 around with him in his pocket and get in an accident and just buy people off. My stepmother would say, oh, well, we lost another 100,000. And they go, what? For what? Did you buy a house? Did you do, she says, no, your dad got another accident. And just gave the people the money, said, just don't report this and get a new car or do whatever and just, And he'd always tell me, I cannot be a drunk because I can pay my bills. You're homeless. You're a drunk. You're a dope fiend, Chris. You're living on the street in Times Square. And I go, wow, Dad, I don't care if you can pay your bills. None of your kids will visit you. There's a problem here with your drinking. And he's, no, I can pay my bills. Whoa, people that are like functioning alcoholics and drug addicts, they're the hardest, beside binge drinkers and prescription drug addicts, to convince they got a problem. Prescription drug addicts are also very arrogant, because they get it from their doctor. And do you know the worst ones? Like the ones in the most, the hardest to reach through are these little soccer moms and these little trophy moms out at like a Boyd. When they used to come into the hospital at Park Center or like at, Charter Beacon or Parkview Behavioral Health, or they come in for detox, right? They get caught. They get arrested and then they'd say, I'll go to treatment. Because they get caught doctor shopping or, and the worst are like nurses and dental hygienists. Because they steal the doctor's scripts, you know what I mean? And they start writing them out for themselves and then start going to all these, and they always get caught eventually, right? And, but they'll even admit they have a problem because they knew they were stealing scripts. But it's the soccer moms and the trophy moms that tend to, live out there in the 04, the Boyd neighborhood, and like the Sycamore Hills Wives Club is what I used to call them. And they come in and they look around the room and they'd go, oh, I'm not anything like these people here, Chris. Comparing themselves out. And they'd go, they live on the street, they smoke crack, they smoke pot, they do illegal drugs and everything like that. And I go, you're an addict too? And they go, no, I'm not like that. I said, you're actually worse. And they said, what? They said, what? And I said, well, you lied to a doctor and you're doctor shopping and, you violated the trust of a medical professional. They're, at least, when they're going, so you lied to them. When a crack addict goes down to the crack dealer, they're not lying to them about what they want, right? I said, you're actually worse. You're a bigger liar than they are. You're more dishonest. Whoa, and they go, but my doctor prescribed it for me. And I said, listen, you just got a better dealer and better quality control. Because you know what you're going to get, right? If you get so many grams of Dilaudid, you know that's what you're getting. Okay? If you get this many Xanax or that many Valium, you know exactly what you're getting. I said, I bought meth that turned out to be wax. Okay? You can't take it back to your drug dealer. There's no, customer department, right? You can't go back to your drug dealer and go, hey, man, what are you doing selling me wax? You get shot. I didn't have, you get dirt weed, and you go, what? So you just have more quality control. So they're also very arrogant. So high functioning, lots of money, they tend to stay sicker a lot longer because it takes longer for them to hit a bottom, to feel their pain, And if they function at all, it's really easy for them to make you and everybody else the problem, okay?